Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another video. So you guys, this is our monthly budget for January 2021, the first budget of the year. Let's jump in. New to our channel, hey y'all, how y'all doing? My name's Shakema. I'm a single mom. I have 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys, 1 fur dog named Gracie. We also have a fur grand dog. His name is Acro. So the kids and I have been doing Dave Ramsey for about 10 years now. And we have successfully finished or completed baby steps 1, 2, and 2. Baby step number 1 is $1,000 in your emergency fund. Baby step number 2 is paying off all your consumer debt with the exception of your house, which you pay off in baby step number 6. We are now working on baby step number 3. So for me, 2020 is bringing some changes to the way we do money, or the way we look at money, or the way we budget money. Not in the semantics of it or the mechanics of it, but just putting that savings category into the budget and making sure we maintain. So I teach a class. I teach career explorations in middle school, and we do something called reality check. And it's where the kids have to do a budget to see how much money it would take them to sustain 1 month's living. And then from there, they go and look to see what job they would be able to get to take care of that 1 month's living. Then they have to see, how much it would increase if they got married or if they had children. But one of the things when I'm explaining the activity or when we're going through it is the savings part. And I say one of the biggest challenges for families is that savings piece. A lot of people don't save. Now, we have had ample opportunities to save this year, but I'm also working baby steps 4, 5, and 7 at the same time. Baby step number 4 is to invest, which I do plan to do $50 worth of investments this year, every month. It's not a lot of money, but I'm going to put something into my 401k. I won't max out at $50 a month. That will only give me about $600 this year. My max out is $6,000. I won't max out to $6,000. Not on my current budget. Unless something breaks and something happens different, I won't max out, but I will have put something in there. So I'm keeping that in my mind. Shakema, you may not max out, but you can put something in there. Also, I'm working on baby step number 5, which means Dave calls it planning for your kids' college. Well, I don't pay for college, but I do put something into my kids' savings. I put something into my kids' savings account every single month that their dad sends child support. And baby step number 7 is giving. So I have always been a giver. For me, baby step number 7 really could have been baby step number 1 because that's just how I have done things in my life. It's just one of the things that I've always done, and I'm okay with that. I'm not going to not give. I'm going to give, but I'm going to focus this year on that baby step number 3. To have a fully funded 3 to 6 emergency fund, it would be between $9,000 and $18,000. I am going to save each month. I'm going to plan it in my budget to save 5% of my gross income, which is $250. If I do $250, that will give me a grand total of $3,000 at the end of the year. For the 3 to 6 months, it won't be fully funded. It'll be a third of the way. And that's perfectly fine. If I have more to add, I'll add more. But I want to save at least 5% because that's going to be the difference between a month's worth of expenses and not having that much. And so as much as I love doing every other thing, I do want to make sure that the kids and I have savings. It's important. I think with the way things are going in our economy, I'm very thankful to still be working. I'm very thankful to have monthly income coming in. I'm very thankful that my ex-husband is sending child support, but I need to make sure that I am doing my part by saving. So I'm going to be doing that this year and making some adjustments. So definitely going to be putting something in the Roth IRA. I'm going to be doing my 3 to 6 months baby step. And then also for the car fund, So remember that in January 2020, I started sinking funds, and I started sinking funds using my YouTube AdSense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Google AdSense. I'm going to fund all of my sinking funds this year. So I've added in a few sinking funds that were not in there last year, or I wasn't funding last year. I'm going to be doing that. But I'm also going to take what is left over and put that into my car fund, because sooner rather than later, I'm going to have to get a car. Right now, my car is fixed and I'm driving, moving along with no problem. To keep me from having to finance a vehicle, because that is not my desire. It is not the desire of my heart to have debt. If I were to have to finance a vehicle, I do have some savings. I do have access to some additional income, some additional funding if I need it. And then I think I would either go through the credit union, which I've done before, way back when I first bought my first ever car. That car was brand new, and I know I paid way more than I should have for it. So this time, if I have to do that, I'm doing my research ahead. I'm making sure that I know exactly what I need for me and my children. But I am trying to not have to do that at all. So what I'm doing is making a point, everything I get in AdSense after I pay, after I sink all of my sinking funds, whatever is left is going into that car fund. We have just a little bit less than $1,000 in our car fund right now. Could have been at $2,000, but I did have to get 2 major car repairs done. So for everyone who has given some great advice on finding a new mechanic that is already in the works, thank you so much. I had to finish out what I was doing with that car mechanic because they had already started the work, and I'd already paid for it, and I wasn't trying to pay again somebody else. Now that the car is working and running perfectly fine, I am going to be looking for someone else. I am not that person who continues to go back for punishment, but I do like to finish something. And they were working on my vehicle. They did pay for the rental car, which I felt was really excellent for them to do. But still in all, I will be looking for a different mechanic. And I am okay with that. So again, I'm not staying with them. I just had to finish up that where I was. So anyway, I'm going to turn my camera around and let you guys see kind of my budget sheet. I'm still using the MYMT personal budget sheet. That sheet works for me. It's no need to change it. But I will be adding in some new categories, some of the things that we just talked about as far as what I want to make sure that I'm putting in for 2021. So let me turn my camera around and show you the budget sheet. Alrighty, you guys, so here it is. This is my budget sheet again, and so I'm going to just run you down these numbers very quickly. So for my mortgage, it's always the same. It never changes. It's $947.75, but I'm actually going to go ahead and bump that up to $950. I'm going to get a little bit extra in there if I'm able. Looking at my electric bill is $108. That's a round number. My water bill is about $55. My cell phone bill is $113. My internet service is $75. I'm just rounding. Household repairs, handy mandy. I don't have any of that going on this month. I do need to do some painting, and I want to do a household project, but right now I'm not going to budget in for that because I'm trying to do some other things. Homeowners Association will come due in January, so that's $200. That is barring we still have a homeowners association. We had some issues going on. Not sure if that has dissolved or not, but right now I'm going to budget in for it. All right, lawn care, no lawn care. Moving down, I do have my Roth IRA. I have one at Vanguard, and I have one at the State Employees Credit Union. So I'm going to budget in $50, and I'm going to alternate between which of those accounts I'm going to be putting money into. Amazon Prime, that will come due in January, but a friend of mine gifts that to me each year, so I don't have to pay it, but it is $118. The reason she gifts it to me is because I do all of her ordering for her on Amazon, and I make sure that it gets to her house and all the things, and so she is perfectly fine. I asked her again, I said, remember, this is going to be due. Do you want to, pay for it, or do you want me to pick it up? She was like, no, I'm paying for it, no problem. So I'm leaving that. PureFlix, that is not due yet, so I'm leaving that blank. Healthways Gym is $25. Now, I have not been to the gym in well over 6 months since COVID-19 hit. That has to change. I've got to get back in the gym. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I'm going to plan to get back in the gym in January. Kids life insurance, I do believe that comes around due January, and it's $36 for the year. I think it's $18 a year. It might be $18 every 6 months, but I think it's $18 for the year. Taekwondo is $300. Remember, I'm not taking lessons right now, although I am thinking about going back for lessons just to get some movement in. I've got to get moving. My sinking funds for taxes, and I don't put that in at the moment, but I will put in for homeschool, which is, so for homeschool, I'm going to budget in $90. That's $22.50 each week for homeschool. All right, groceries. What I try to do is look at the number of weeks. So I'm going to budget in $300. Now, $250 will be for monthly groceries, and $50 will be for a summer grocery gift card. All right, I'm going to change this because Jackson's not doing vegetarian anymore. And I'm also going to change this. I'm going to name this monthly preps. We actually will be starting over on our 52-week prepping challenge. And so I'm going to do $50 in the monthly preps. I'm actually going to do it every week or 4 weeks at a time for the month. So that's going to put my total groceries at $350. Moving down to personal care. I don't usually buy anything. That comes out of my grocery budget for personal items, and I coupon for those. Hair care, I'm going to do $75. Again, sister gets her hair done. That's $40 for her, $20 for mom. I do need a haircut this month coming, and Jackson gets a haircut. His is $15, mine is $20, and sister's is $40. Clothing and shoes, I'm not going to put any in for that. Dentists and doctors, I have $87 left to finish out my chiropractor, and I'll be all done with paying for that. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. Moving down, I don't have any supplements I need to get this time. For the kids' savings, I am going back to savings since Christmas is over. They'll get $200 for that. Miscellaneous house, I do want to do a small house project. I'm going to budget in maybe $100 for that. If I'm able to do it, I will. If I'm not, it's no problem. Recreation, travel, and entertainment, I have nothing planned for that. And then for Gracie, her sinking fund is $40. That's going to come out again of the AdSense. Moving down, as far as transportation is concerned, I am going to say I usually do 40 a week, 50 a week, just to cover. So $200 for my oil change is going to be $20. Tires, I'm not putting anything there, nor am I putting anything in registration yet until I get sinking funds or the car replacement. That will all be a sinking fund. For my tithe, that's $500. That's 10% of my gross income. For our ministry that we give, I'm going to do $30. Baby step number 3. We're on baby step number 3. So I'm going to actually remove baby step number 1 because we're on 3. And I'm going to take that out. So now it says baby step number 3. And I'm going to put in $250. At minimum, I want to do $250. If I'm able to do more, that's fine. And then for my blow money, I don't put anything for mom right now. I since the latter part of the year have had a virtual assistant, probably for about 5 months, maybe more. And that person has been helping me free of charge. She's not been charging me anything. She's just been doing things for me. All of the Vlogmas thumbnails, all of the really nice thumbnails that you see, she has created for me. All the videos with no thumbnails, courtesy of yours truly. And I appreciate what she's able to do for me. However, I don't expect anybody to work for free, even though she's helping me to gain experience doing some graphic design, and I appreciate that. It is not in my nature to not give something. So I'm going to set aside for her. We agreed on $60. That still is a very minuscule amount. I'm going to do $100. That's just going to make me feel better. And that's for, if she's doing $10 an hour, that's for 10 hours worth of work. So I don't regulate that. She does a lot for me. When I say a lot, she does a lot for me. So that puts me at $3,954 even that I would need to cover all the expenses that I've just put in. I keep forgetting that my computer is now a touch screen since my son gave me his old computer. So $3,954. If I look at what I made as far as my paycheck, which has come in before December is over, it's $2,940.78. So I'm about $1,014 under in my paycheck. So I need to pull in about $1,000 more somewhere. So when I go back up, I can look at my now income categories and know that my payroll deposit is there. When the kids' deposit comes in, it's usually $938, and then that helps if I have any travel reimbursement. We really haven't been traveling a lot. I go to my office. So say I go from my house to one school. That's my reasonable work distance, so I don't get to claim travel. But if I go from my house to my office and then go to a school, I can claim travel. So right now, I haven't had a lot of travel reimbursements. And then any unexpected gifts, monies, blessings, or funds transferred. Anytime I get a blessing, no matter where it comes from, it could be extra, it could be a bonus, it could be somebody said, hey, Shakema, here's extra this or extra that, whatever. However it comes in, then that money would go here. And what I'm doing with any of that money is either putting it towards summer groceries or it will go towards the new car fund, because I've got to get that fund funded quickly. And then after, it's going to be just like a snowball. After that sinking fund for the car is fully funded, then whatever I'm saving or taking from the Google AdSense, that will then go into baby step number 3. And then when I'm done with that, that will then go into baby step number 4. So it's just taking that money that I'm already allocating once that category is completed and then funneling it into the next category. So there it is, you guys. That was a pretty long explanation, but I needed you to understand where I'm coming from as far as 2021. 2021 for me is going to be a gazelle intense year. It's what Dave Ramsey talks about, getting gazelle intense. There are some major goals that I've got to hit this year for me and my children. I have had people ask me, why do you need a van? You would be just as fine with a car. And I would be fine with a car. However, we have a large dog. She is a lab beagle mix, but she is more lab than beagle. And when we put ma'am in the car, ma'am takes up the car because she is a nervous rider. And so she doesn't sit still. She has to get up and she has to get down and she's over your shoulder and she lays on Jackson and then she's in the front seat with Alana, and it's too much. So if I had a van and I was able to either take the middle seats out or do stow and go in the third row, I could put her very large crate in the car. I could crate her in the car and she would be more comfortable. I know people would say, why would you crate a dog in the car? she's a nervous writer. So it just would make her feel more comforted if she were crated. We don't like to crate her. If she could get used to riding in the car without the crate, we would be happy with that. Even if we don't crate her with a van, she still has some walking room, even if we got to like a rest stop or something. 2 years ago when Hurricane Florence came through, we had to evacuate our house, which is, we almost didn't, and I'm glad we did, because our area was without power for 10 days, which meant we lost all of our food. We didn't have the grills at the time. My kids and I would not have been able to eat for 10 days, and that just wasn't something we could do. So it was better for us to go ahead and take the dog and evacuate. But we had my Toyota Camry full down with supplies and blankets and clothes and food, because we're keto, and the dog and the kids, and we were like sardines in our car. And we do live in hurricane territory, so if that were to happen to us again, we want to be well prepared for it. So I am looking into getting a van no later than a 2013, if I'm able to find something that still has pretty good mileage on it, that still will, because I travel a lot. I travel between North Carolina and South Carolina, especially with preaching at my dad's church. And so that, again, allows me to have room. I film when I go to places like that. I do need to travel with the kids around for Taekwondo. And so a van is my choice. It may not be your choice for me, but it's my choice for me. And since I'm the one who has to live with it and pay for it, I'm picking a van. A small SUV is not going to work. I have to have a place where I can take those seats out. You just have to live in my situation to understand. Or not. It's perfect. But what I'm saying is 2021 is a gazelle intense year for me. Sometimes I find a need and I just meet a need if I know of somebody or whatever, and I'm still going to do that. But I need to focus on getting that 3 to 6 month emergency fund built up, and I need to focus on getting that car fund fully funded to whatever that number might be. I'm going to go out with a friend of mine. He's going to help me, because sometimes women going by themselves have a different experience than going with a man. And so my friend Jason is going to go and help me. And my pastor has also offered to go with me to look for cars and just start pricing stuff out, so I'll know what I'm saving up towards. It's great to save, but if I don't know what how much I'm going to need, so I'm going to try my best to do that. And I'm also going to be taking on a side hustle. I'm going to get back into selling on eBay in 2021, and Jackson's going to help me with that, because Jackson wants to sell on eBay, and I have a friend who gives me a lot of antique things, older things. She's been collecting for years, and she doesn't need the money. She's like, hey, Shakema, you want to put this on eBay? Fine. And then I have some things, and I thrift, and I do stuff like that. So I'm going to go and look to see what I can list on eBay. It's going to be very simple things for right now. I'm not going to be into grand articles of, I have a friend, he will sell anything, and I am just not there. Just not. But I can do small items and different things like that. And if it garners the kids and I some income, then that's perfect for us. It will also help us reach those goals a little bit faster. So again, for me, 2021 is going to be a gazelle intense year. I was telling my sister, so that's a budget, just a little chatting here. I was telling my sister, because I'm in a different filming space. I am currently in Florida with my sister. She had some business she needed to take care of, so I came down with her because she just recently had a surgery, and I did not want her to drive that long ways by herself. And so I came along to help her drive. And I was telling her, I said, this was the first year, 2020 was the first year that I didn't have to dip into another account to pull out monies to finish up Christmas and to make sure my kids had everything they needed and, whatever. We had what we needed, and it was such a blessing. The kids got some gift cards in the mail, and that was a blessing. I got some gift cards in the mail. Their grandparents sent some stuff. Their dad really came through this year. Shamika and Trandon came through this year. So I was able to do everything I needed to do for all the kids. 2-bedroom makeovers. Alana got a cell phone for the first time. Shamika paid for that. And so she has a job, and she'll now be responsible for buying her phone card every month. She has a straight talk, so she'll have to pay that $35 for her cell phone every month. I'm not putting her on my plan because it would make my bill go up way too high. So she is going to do, and that's perfectly fine for her. All she needs is to call or text. She does not have social media of any kind. This is perfect for her. So much so we had to look up a YouTube video on how to use the phone, you know, how to do some stuff on the phone. And that's fine. It's a new learning experience for her, and it's perfect. So we're just not going over the top with it. It's going to be perfectly fine. So that is where we are with that piece of, you know, the budget. But 2021 for me is going to be that year. And I also hope that 2021 is that year for you. If anybody is interested in joining me on this journey, and you want to jump in there and say, hey, Shakema, let's do this together, I'm here for you. If anybody needs any help with your budget and you really want to stick with it, call me, you know, put a comment down below, let me know. We'll get something set up where we can maybe do a one-on-one, or we could do a class or something like that, where we can get a group of people together really to get focused, because the only way we're going to reach other goals is to begin with the budget. We got to start with the budget. And even if you don't do it 100% right every time, at least you have a starting point. If you don't do anything else other than just make the budget, then you at least know where your money's going. So you don't have to stick to it. I'm not telling you how to discipline yourself, but I'm saying if you at least know what needs to go out, then you'll know how to manage what's coming in. Especially for you that don't make, that have variable income. Like I know I have a lot of waiters or waitresses. Well, you know, that business is a little bit difficult right now. But people who don't always make the same amount every week. I'm salaried, so my pay never changes. It's always the same. But for people who don't make a salary, they are variable income. That is a way to know, hey, this is how much I at least need to go out. And if you have a spouse or a significant person and y'all share expenses or you share accounts, put everybody's stuff in and then see how you need to manage your money. I will encourage you with the next coming years and the economics the way it is right now. It is better for us to plan. It is better for us to know where our money's going. It's better for us to create a side hustle wherever we can create it, to do the things that we want to do, to be able to take care of our families. So there it is, you guys. 2021, January's budget is done. We're going to see how well we can stick to the budget. You're still going to get your weekly budget updates because that helps me out too. I'm also going to try to make sure that I'm writing everything down. I'm not swiping my card. I had an incident in December where I did have to swipe my card a few times, and I do not like that. I do not. I went to, we stopped at a rest stop earlier, and I had a $10 bill, and as soon as I paid, you know, the guy was like, please make your cashless payments if you're possible. I don't want anybody regulating that I have to use my card, that I use cash. If they don't take any other payments, then I'll do what I have to. But I'm going to use cash as much as I'm able to. That's my comfort level. Is what I like doing. And it works for me. So anywho, there it is, you guys. 2021 January, the first budget of the year is done. I do hope it was helpful. I hope that little chit chat was helpful as well. Just to help you get on a good foot. Remember, if you need help with your budget or any questions, leave us a comment down below. We'd be happy to address those as we are able. And if we can't find an answer, if we don't know the answer, we'll find an answer for you, for somebody who knows way more than we do. Anywho, there it is, you guys. If you liked the video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. Bye now.